Okay, it's time for story time with Miss Joyce. I brought my bat friend with me and we are all ready to go see what stories are today. Shall we check it out? Here we go. Well, here we are. We're inside and Miss Joyce is ready. Are you ready, little bat? Yes? Okay, good. Miss Joyce, oh, there you are.
Here I am.
Do you have some good stories for us today?
Oh, today we are going Batty. Simply going Batty, but it's great because it's Halloween time.
Yes, that's great. Well, I'll get out of the way and you can tell us some stories. Yay!
Awesome. But before we start our stories, I'm going to teach you a little bit about bats because that's very important. You know, I've been researching a whole bunch of things about bats. We all seem to think that bats only do one thing. So I'm going to tell you some secrets. First off, I've got an eyeball in here. Now, what do you think an eyeball has to do with bats? Well, have any of you ever heard the expression, blind as a bat? Well, bats really aren't blind. They actually have this amazing vision that they can see at night. It's called echolocation. They can put out this sound, and when it comes back to them, they know the distance of things away from them. If it's really close, if it's far away. And even some bats, like the fruit bats, they can actually see at night. It's like they have this X-ray vision that goes out and can see in that dark night. So don't ever believe that saying that blind is a bat, because bats are not blind. All right, my next thing. Oh, here's one that probably all of you think. I have some little vampire teeth here. Now, I'm sure you all think that when you hear of bats, you think of vampire bats. Well, vampire bats, there's only 3 species of vampire bats that actually drink blood. There's 1,200 species of bats. So most of them do not drink blood. And the ones that do drink blood, it's such a tiny, tiny, tiny bit that, and it's usually an animal, and the animal doesn't even know. So don't worry about those vampire bats. Now I've got a little bug here. What does a grasshopper have to do with a bat? Well, what do bats eat? They do eat bugs. Now I don't think they like grasshoppers, but they are one of the best pest eliminators that we have. In fact, if we didn't have bats, there would be so many bugs that they would like rule the world. So be thankful for bats. They eat the bugs. And my last little item here is a house. Now this is a birdhouse. So are bats birds? No. People think because they fly, they're like a bird, but they're actually a mammal. And on their wings, the wings are actually an extension of the skin on their body, and they have hair. So they are a mammal. Where birds, they have feathers, and they fly too, but they are birds. So totally different thing. And where do you think bats like to live? Dark, dark places. So their favorite place is probably a cave or a crevice of a rock or even an old decayed log that's just nice and dark. And where do you think they like to sleep? At night? Or I said that wrong. When do you think they like to sleep? Not at night. Their favorite time to fly is night, and they sleep during the day. So, oh my goodness, I have a bat in my pumpkin. I think he's telling us it's time to get started. So our first story is called Stella Luna. So let's get over there and get started. So our first story today is Stella Luna by Janelle Cannon. And we want to thank Harcourt Incorporation, the publishers, for allowing us to tell these stories during the pandemic. So of course I've had to make some adaptations. One warm night in the forest, Mama Bat and her little baby bat were flying. Oh, I just love my little bat. She means everything to me. I'm calling her Stella Luna. One night, as they were flying along, and Mama Bat had her little baby wrapped tightly in her arm, along came an owl. Silently, the owl swooped down on the mother bat. And he kept attacking her again and again. Woo, woo, woo. Poor Mama Bat lost hold of Stella Luna, and she fell and she fell and she fell all the way down until she went plop right into a tree. Her little tiny feet found a branch and they held on as tight as she could. Mama, Mama, where are you? There she sat all night, but she was just such a little baby that as the daylight started to come, she lost her grip and she fell until plump right into a bird's nest. Hey, Flap, what is that? I don't know, Flutter. What is that? And Stella Luna climbed outside of that nest and hung by her feet outside the nest. Well, just then, along came the mother bird. Hello, my little babies. I brought you some food. Well, all day long, that mama bird flew away and would bring back food for her little birds. Oh, my goodness. Stella Luna was getting so hungry. Oh, I wish I could eat, but she's bringing them icky old bugs. I don't like bugs. Oh. But as time went on, poor Stella Luna kept getting more and more hungry. So finally, she plopped herself into that nest, opened up her mouth, and plop, that mama bird dropped a grasshopper into her mouth. Ugh. Well, Stella Luna learned how to become a bird. She ate bugs, and she stayed up all day, but there was one thing she didn't give up. She still liked hanging by her feet outside the nest. Well, one day, the mama bird, as she was away, Stella Luna talked the baby birds into hanging upside down outside the nest. And when the mama bird came back, oh my goodness! What are you guys doing? Get back up here right now before you fall and break your little beaks. And you start obeying the house of the rules or you can leave. So from then on, Stella Luna learned to act like a bird, and she did not hang by her feet. Well, as time went on, the birds grew up, and so did Stella Luna, and pretty soon the mama bird said, "It's time for you all to learn to fly." So out they jumped out of the nest, spread out their wings, and sure enough, they could fly. "Oh, this is great," said Flap. "This is super," said Flutter. "I can fly," said Stella Luna. And off they flew. And then as they came to the tree to land, the little birds landed right on the branch, but poor Stella Luna, all she could do was finally grab on with her feet. "I'm so clumsy. I can't land at all. I'm going to fly all day so no one sees how clumsy I am." And so from then on, the birds and Stella Luna flew and flew and they flew. And one day they flew so long that it was getting very late. "We better go back home or else we won't be able to see the way." But Stella Luna was way far ahead of them. "Stella Luna, it's time to go home." But she didn't hear them. "Oh, we better go back." So the birds flew back home. And Stella Luna realized then it was too dark for her to go back home. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'll just have to hang in this tree by my thumbs. I promised Mama Bird I would not hang by my feet. So there Stella Luna was, hanging with her thumbs. And little did she know that along came some other bats. Why are you upside down? Well, I'm not upside down. Mama Bird said I'm right side up. Well, if you were a bird, you'd be right side up, but you're not. You're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. So birds are upside down and we are right side up. Oh, said Stella Luna. Well, let me try. So she let go, flipped herself over, and felt so much better. Who ever taught you to be like a bird anyway? Oh, it was terrible. Me and my mom, we were attacked by an owl, and I think the owl killed my mom, and I haven't seen her since. And I was raised by the birds. What's this I hear? Did I hear somebody say their mom was attacked by an owl? You're my Stella Luna. You're my mom. You were saved from the owl? Oh, I was. I thought you were dead. Oh, Mom, the birds raised me and I'm good. Stella Luna, I'm going to tell you where to find the best food ever. And that night, the mama bat flew with Stella Luna and she taught her how to fly in the night. And Stella Luna discovered she could see in the dark. And she took her to a mango tree and she ate the most delicious food because fruit bats don't eat bugs, they eat fruit. Oh, Mama, I have got to tell my bird friends about my bat family. So the next day, Stella Luna flew off back home. Come and see my bat family. Okay. So off they flew to meet the bat family. I feel like we're upside down here. Well, it's because we hang by our feet. And just wait till dark and see what it's like it to fly at dark. Oh, I don't know, that's kind of scary. You can do it, I know you can, because I can do it. So they waited, and when it was dark, Stella Luna told her friends to jump out into the darkness. Ah, we can't see at all. Stella Luna grabbed her friends and she rescued them and they took them back to the tree. Oh my goodness, how is it that we are so different, but yet we're so much alike? You're right. How is it that we feel so different, but yet we feel so much alike? On that day, the birds and the bats learned, even though you're different, it's okay, because we can still be friends. And that's the story of Stella Luna. That would be something, wouldn't it? To change all your bat ways and think you're a bird? But Stella Luna was never really happy being a bird, was she? But she was happy with her friends. So now I have a fun little bat rhyme, and you'll get to know the words, and you can always do it with me. So I've got my 5 little bats hanging upside down because that's what bats do. They actually can't stand on their feet because of how their body is built, so they have to be hanging upside down. 5 little bats hanging upside down. One of them said, I'm going to town to watch all the children going up and down the street, knocking on the doors and saying, trick or tree. 4 little bats hanging upside down. Another one said, hey, I'm going to town to see all the little kids going up and down the street, knocking on the doors and saying, trick or treat. 3 little bats hanging upside down. One of them said, I'm going to town to see all the kids going up and down the street, knocking on the doors and saying, trick or treat. 2 little bats hanging upside down. This one said, I'm going to town to see all the kids going up and down the street, knocking on the doors and saying, trick or treat. 1 little bat hanging upside down. He said, I'm going to town to see all the kids going up and down the street, knocking on the doors and saying, trick or treat. So, this year, if you get to go out trick-or-treating, if you hear some funny little sounds going, it might be one of those 5 little bats watching you go trick-or-treating. So are you ready for our next story? This is one about an old lady who swallowed a bat. Be right back. So our next story is, there was an old lady who swallowed a bat. And this one is by Lucille Calandro. And we want to thank Scholastic for allowing us to tell this story. There was an old lady who swallowed a bat. Oh, imagine that. She swallowed the bat. Well, I don't know why she swallowed that bat. There was an old lady who swallowed an owl. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my goodness, she started to howl. Whoa! She swallowed that owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed that bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a cat. Oh my goodness. What do you think? She's looking pretty fat. She swallowed that cat to chase the owl. She swallowed that owl to shush that bat. I don't know why she swallowed that bat. Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a ghost. Oh, what do you think? I think she liked it most. So she swallowed that ghost to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl. She swallowed the owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed that bat. Imagine that. There was an old woman who swallowed a goblin. Oh, it made her so dizzy she started to spin. Well, she swallowed that goblin to scare the cat. She swallowed, or to scare the ghost. She swallowed the goat to chase the ghost to chase the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the owl, and she swallowed that owl to shush the bat. I don't know why she swallowed that bat. Imagine that. Well, there was an old lady who swallowed some bones. There was so many, she started to moan. Oh, I think those bones are going to come out of her mouth. She swallowed those bones to rattle the goblin. She swallowed the goblin to chase the ghost. She swallowed the ghost to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl. And she swallowed that owl to shush the bat. Now, why did she ever swallow that bat? Imagine that. There was an old lady who swallowed a wizard. Oh, no, you don't. I need you to cast a spell so I can yell, trick or treat! Out came the bones, and out came the goblin. Out flew the ghost, out comes the cat. Oh my goodness, imagine that. And out comes the owl, and last of all, out comes the bat. Happy Halloween! I think there's better things to eat than bats and cats and owls and ghosts and goblins and bones and wizards. Don't you think? So, get ready for our last story. Well, we're going to do a song first, and then our last story for the day. So let's get our things out for our song. All right, so this is a fun song, and you'll probably get the hang of it. It's what they call a progression song. And so one thing adds to another. So we've got our little farm here, and we've got our black bat. And once you figure out how the song goes, then join along with us, all right? There was a farm, a spooky little farm, the spookiest farm you ever did see. And a field on the farm, and the farm was full of spooks. Boo! And a black bat flew all around, and a black bat flew all around. Now on that farm, and in that field, there was a vine, the creepiest vine you ever did see. And the vine was on the field, and the field was on the farm, and the farm was full of spooks. Boo! And the black bat flew all around, and a black bat flew all around. Now on that vine, there was a pumpkin. It was the cutest little pumpkin that you ever did see. And the pumpkin's on the vine, and the vine's in the field, and the field's on the farm, and the farm's full of spooks. Boom! And the black bat flew all around, and the black bat flew all around. Now in that pumpkin, there was some seeds. The slimiest seeds. Ooh, that you ever did see. And the seeds are in the pumpkin, and the pumpkin's on the vine, and the vine's in the field, and the field's on the farm, and the farm's full of spooks. Boom! And the black bat flew all around, and the black bat flew all around. Yeah! And the black bat flew all around, and the black bat flew all around. Yeah! You like that song? I really like that song. What, do you want to do it again? I want the kids to do it again. Do you think you could do that again with us now that you know all of the words? Please, 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 please. Oh, the bat really wants to do it again. So let's get our pumpkin here and our vine. And are the spooks ready? There was a farm, a spooky little farm, the spookiest farm you ever did see. And there was a field on the farm, and the farm's full of spooks. Boom! And a black bat flew all around, and a black bat flew all around. Now on that field, there was a vine, the creepiest vine you ever did see. And the vine was on the field, and the field's on the farm, and the farm's full of spooks. Boom! And the black bat flew all around, and a black bat flew all around. Now on this vine, there was a pumpkin, the cutest little pumpkin that you ever did see. And the pumpkin's on the vine, and the vine's on the field, and the field's on the farm, and the farm's full of spooks. Boom! And the black bat flew all around, and the black bat flew all around. Now in that pumpkin, there was some seeds. Ooh, the slimiest seeds. Ooh, that you ever did see. And the seeds are in the pumpkin, and the pumpkin's on the vine, and the vine's on the field, and the field's on the farm, and the farm is full of spooks. Boom! And the black bat flew all around, and the black bat flew all around. Yeah! And the black bat flew all around, and the black bat flew all around. Yeah! I hope you sang along with us that time. That's a fun Halloween song. Now we're going to get ready for my favorite Halloween story ever. It's called Big Pumpkin. So let me get ready for that. So for our last story today, we're doing Big Pumpkin. And this is by Erica Silverman, and the publisher is Simon & Schuster. So we want to thank them for that. Oh, Halloween is going to be coming, and I just love pumpkin pie. I bet if I plant a pumpkin seed right now, it'll be ready in a big pumpkin just in time for Halloween. So the witch planted a seed. And then she watered it. And she weeded it. And she took care of it for a long time, and pretty soon she noticed a vine starting to grow. Oh, this is going to be the best pumpkin ever. I just feel it. I just feel it. And sure enough, it blossomed. And then she saw a pumpkin start to grow. Oh, come on, my pretty little pumpkin. Grow, grow. And it did as she watered and weeded. Before she knew it, that pumpkin grew into a big pumpkin, and just in time for Halloween. It's Halloween. It's time to pick my pumpkin. So that witch wrapped her arms around it and she pulled. And she tugged. And she pulled again. She pulled hard and harder. But the pumpkin just sat. Drat! And she kicked that pumpkin. Well, just then along came a ghost.
Ooh, big pumpkin.
Yes, it is big. It's big and it's mine. But it's stuck on the vine. And Halloween is just hours away.
Well, I am much bigger than you, and I am stronger too. Let me try.
I would like some pumpkin pie for Halloween, though. Okay, give it a try. So that ghost reached around, and he pulled, and he tugged, and he pulled. He pulled harder, and he pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat.
Drat!
Well, just then, along came Vampire.
Ooh, big pumpkin.
Yes, it's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away. And she kicked that pumpkin.
Well, I am much bigger than you and Ghost, and I'm much stronger too. Let me try.
Oh, but I do want pumpkin pie for Halloween. Okay. So Witch stepped aside, and Vampire, he pulled, and he tugged, and he pulled again, and he pulled harder, and he pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat.
Drat!
Well, just then, along came Mummy. Big pumpkin. Yes, it's big, and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away.
Well, I am much bigger and much stronger than all of you. Let me try.
I do want pumpkin pie for Halloween, though. Oh, right. So the witch stepped aside. Well, Mommy wrapped his arms around that pumpkin, and he pulled, and he tugged, and he pulled harder, and he tugged harder. but the pumpkin just sat. Rot! Well, just then, along came Bat. Big pumpkin. You think a little thing like you can pull this big pumpkin out of the ground? Well, I may not be big and I may not be strong, but I have an idea. And he whispered the idea in Witch's ear. Oh. And so, Witch grabbed onto Pumpkin, and Ghost grabbed onto Witch. Mummy, Vampire grabbed onto Ghost, and Mummy grabbed onto Vampire, and Bat grabbed onto Mummy. And they pulled, and they tugged. They pulled hard, and they pulled harder until snap! The big pumpkin rolled all the way down the hill. Thump! Right in front of Witch's house. Hooray for Bat! Now we can have pumpkin pie! So she cooked and she cooked and she cooked and invited all of her friends over for pumpkin pie. Oh, here you go. Here, have a piece. Ooh, great party. Oh, hello, Vampire. Would you like another bite?
Ooh, I cannot eat another bite.
Oh, Mommy. Yeah, I'm so glad you came.
Yes, I'm all wrapped up in all this fun.
Oh, and Bat, you saved the day. But it's time for me to fly. Goodbye. And all her friends left, and Witch sat at her house. Well, I think I'm going to go plant me another seed. And that's just what she did. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. That is one of my favorites. We have to tell it every year here at the Fine Arts Center. So we have a fun little craft that you can come pick up. If you're watching this online, feel free to come pick it up. Every craft that we do during our preschool story time will be some type of a puppet. And so today we have a flying bat. You know, we should have talked about in our stories what bats say. I mean, do they say moo? Of course not. Or meow? No, that's not what bats say. They actually have this really high-pitched screeching sound that they just really quickly. So when you do your bat puppet, you can make that sound. So we have the kits all put together that you can pick up. Really easy. All you have to do is you pull out the body. Here's your bat body. You've got a couple of wings, and notice they have holes. And inside here we have a mouth. Really easy. You'll just glue on your tongue and then glue that onto your bat's body. We have some silly looking eyes that you can do the different sizes for the eyes. And a couple little feet that you'll attach at the bottom of your body like this. And this is probably the trickiest part after this. So you can glue the stick on the back and then secure a piece of tape. That just kind of helps because usually we're all anxious to play with it. And it's not quite dry if you're just gluing it. So put the tape on there so that you can play with it as soon as you've got it all made. But you'll attach your wings with these little brads. And the brads will go on the inside holes. Okay? So you'll go through the body of your bat and then the inside hole of your wing, like that. So there's your front, there's your back, and you'll spread that apart. And then after you get both of your wings on, you'll notice that there's that top hole that's where you thread your string through. And so you'll go down, under, across, and I'll use this one as an example. Down, under, across, and then tie it. And when you tie it, you want to make sure your wings are down, because then that allows more flight action, okay, when you have it tied up. And you want to make sure that you have the longer part of your string, because that's how your bat flies. So just a cute little craft for you to make. And then as a bonus, if you come and pick up and you're Johnny on the spot, we have a little treat, a little bat treat that goes with it too. You want to, I'll have my helper. I forgot to recognize my husband, Scott. He's my awesome third and fourth hands. But here is the little bat treat that you can pick up. Okay, all pre-wrapped, nothing homemade that you have to worry about. Attached to little rings, so it's a little fudge cake bat that you can enjoy at home. So that's our story time for this week, this month, I should say. We want to remind you about the music one that will be in 2 weeks. And next month, on November 13th, of course, we're all going to be getting ready for Thanksgiving. So our preschool story time will be called Eat It Up. And all the stories will have fun things about food. And our puppet, of course, is going to be a turkey. Because who has Thanksgiving without a turkey? So until then, we invite you to come. Hopefully things will be better and we can invite more people in. Come in person and enjoy the story times. Otherwise, we're hoping to video and post those on Facebook too. So then, oh, and 9:30, they reminded me, it's at 9:30, second Friday of every month. Fine Arts Center. See you then.